Episode 4. Who the fuck knew Billie Eilish could act?
She was decent. She
was pretty good at what she did in that episode. But let me set up the actual episode. So she's driving through Tennessee in some strange outfit. I don't know where she got that outfit from. That outfit was wild. A cop pulls her over. Didn't notice any of the blood in the car.
Dummy.
Dummy. Damn. Any of it.
Dummy. And blood smeared on the back seat. Blood on the headrest.
The headrest I could see because it was on the back part of the headrest. The stuff in the back, she didn't put that stuff over it until afterwards. So like,
what a loser.
And then he offers to follow her all the way to Bonnaroo, is what it was supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And then she gets to a store. She's checking out for him because she's like, what's she going to do? She's got a bloody car and a cop following her. And that's when one of the people from the cult decide to...
Cricket is her name.
Cricket, yes. Cricket. Decided to help her with said cop by promising that she would leverage her social media to expose him for all of the racism, alleged racism.
Once again, this is supposed to be a woman who's falling through the cracks, who people don't notice. No, everyone notices her, and everyone is helping her escape the justice that she needs to have served against her.
Yeah.
This is not someone who has fallen through the cracks. This is not a forgotten person. This is someone who's gotten every ounce of luck this world has to offer and has used it to go on a violent rampage.
You know what I just noticed? Along with the stories themselves becoming bigger, and obviously the murderers becoming, I guess, you don't see them coming, right? Because the stories are becoming bigger. The helpful hand becomes a lot bigger as well. Right?
Yeah.
It goes from T to Tyre to being in a relationship with this girl to the cult essentially helping her with her psychological issues, giving her a home,
giving you shelter, food,
and cleaning her car.
Now this is the most interesting episode for me. This was probably my favorite episode because I watched both seasons of The Vow. Right, we talked about that on the pod before with Keith Raniere and Nexium and Allison Mack, and that's who she was. That's who Cricket was.
Cricket was Allison.
Allison Mack, the bottom.
That makes sense.
The number one girl.
Yeah.
The recruiter. Right, and so Nexium was that. It was like a brain processes module that they would run on people to try to deviate negative characteristics or even, you know, were thought to be mental defects like Tourette's and stuff like that. They were supposed to be curing them with these brain triggers in these trainings that they were doing with people, right? That's where the snapping shit came in. When she was asking questions, she actually got her to reveal her real name, who she actually was. Which I quickly realized that most of that shit was bullshit because she stole her phone. So the minute she stole her phone, she was able to connect all the dots between that and the conversations they were having on who she was, where she came from, and what happened.
Well, if she can unlock it. If she can unlock the phone. Which I'm sure.
I'm assuming that there's not a lock on the phone just because, well, number one, she would have had to have taken it off. Or how did she ever get in there? Like, there couldn't have been a lock on the phone and she just got in there unless she knew the code.
I thought she just took it from her and the phone died.
Why would you use that? If you're trying to get collateral, you're trying to give, that was the next part of it, that they give up information to be part of the collective. They give up stuff that is supposed to keep you honest and keep you accountable.
I figured since she gave up her name, she gave up all of not all of her doings, but at least some of her doings.
No, you got to tell me what you did. And that's where all of that extra stuff came from. Like, did you hurt somebody? Did you spill blood? Blah, 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 blah. Like, that.
I mean, the way you're telling me, it could be the case as well. I just chalked it up to she took the phone died at some point. But
so basically what happened in Nexium is they used all of the official business stuff, what they were trying to do with the modules, and then the head guy, Keith Raniere, who is Billie Eilish in the show, ends up leveraging his power and his respect and his cachet to have all these various women within the group as his girlfriends, essentially. They create a group around being Keith Raniere's girlfriend. They call it a sorority, where they all brand themselves, right?
Which is the brand that she had on
Which is the brand that they had on which was it's really similar to what them women was actually putting on themselves in Nexium. They were telling them that it was like, oh, it's a mountain and there's something over the mountain and you're the horizon. It's really the nigga's initials. It's really his initials. So I was trying to figure out, I couldn't think about what her character's name was for the longest time to see if it matched up in any way with the brand, because that's what it was with Kiefer Neary. But all of it was exactly the same. Yeah, give me some naked picture or give me some story or something like that as collateral. You'll be part of the group, and if you ever try to leave us, we have everything on you. We know everything about you, and that's exactly what they did.
Yep. Yeah.
The way that they died was pretty fucking stupid, though. It's 6 of y'all. It's 6 of y'all. Y'all should have beat the dog shit out of her. Once again, it's not slipping through the cracks. That's just dumb damn luck. I guess I'll just stand behind the car and hope that you don't hit me. Even though I already know that she's a murderer. I know it. I know it for a fact. But let me just stand behind your car and corner you like a animal. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
Dumbo up on the roof. Ah! You just knew you was gonna die a terrible death when you got
All
up
it took
there.
was her to stop the car real quick. You fly off, and then she runs over you.
Why didn't we open up both sides of the door? We both try to get in while she's banging homegirl's head in between the door and the car. Maybe somebody get in on the other side and take the keys. Maybe.
It's too simple.
Maybe somebody hop in the back seat, so even when she do drive off, it's still somebody in the car. No. No, the roof. The roof is a better place. Definitely a better place.
Yeah. The closed sunroof.
Yeah, that.
Because if it was open, obviously, but clearly it's closed here.
Now, that part I didn't hear about happening at Nexium. I don't know if that's going to be in season 3 of The Vow.
Yo.
But I didn't hear about that one.
We had to attack the deranged Beyonce fan.
Homeboy did flee to Costa Rica, though. He fled to Costa Rica.
He's there now?
No, he's in jail now.
Oh, okay. Oh, because okay. I guess that makes sense.
In jail now.
I don't remember what happened in the beginning of episode 5. Oh, okay.
She went to the phone store because the phone died and it wouldn't come back, or it got turned off.
I feel like that the store guy was, maybe he's some kind of internet star.
Something. He looked familiar.
He kind of looked familiar. He wasn't the where the money resides guy, but he's something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, she tries to get the phone turned back on because obviously with whatever Nexium did, it's not working anymore. Oh no, he cut it off.
No, dude,
he just cut it off.
Yeah,
he just cut it off. So she's trying to get that turned back on. She can't because she has no ID. She's not the person who cut it off.
Like anything.
And this is Marissa's phone.
Oh, did she do have money? She tried to bribe him.
Yeah. Yep. But this is obviously Marissa's phone, so there's not much you can do there. And then, that's when she goes to the house to try to, I guess, either find some information or kill him, much more likely.
Yeah.
But then she goes and she sticks around for a while, and you're wondering, like, why is she just hanging around the house? And you come to find out that once mom and dad of Marissa come home and eventually point a shotgun at her, you start to realize that, like, they know each other, and that's why they kicked her out of the funeral.
Yeah, when they were doing the whole, oh, that's my sister, I thought I definitely got strong play sister vibes, definitely because of them dismissing her from the funeral. I was like, oh, that's fucked up. She can't stay.
Yeah.
But then, we start to get a little bit more context as the show goes on. But no, they were sisters. She was the foster child there. And I do think it's a little nuts that she turns the gun on the mom, because it seems like the mom, other than Marissa, was the only friend that she had in that family.
Sure.
So, I thought that was a little messed up. But in any case, Leon wasn't playing. He channeled his inner David Ruffin.
1,000%.
Bitch, this is Texas. I will shoot y'all, blow your head off, and have a beer over your cold body.
Girl, this is Texas. I'll shoot your ass and have a beer over your dead body.
Which is facts.
Yeah,
But she did break into the house, so.
And he wasn't playing either, though.
No.
Like, I thought that he was just going to get her out of the house, maybe call the police. No, this man, he was going to execute her in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Like, hey, mother, go to the other room. Yeah, I'm like, what, you about to do her in right now? Turn around. Whoa, right now?
Yep.
So the son dies, right?
And they
then
spend all this money on hospital
business was
bills.
struggling,
And then,
after that. And so them taking in a foster care child
them
also
getting a
brought
check
in
from the
money.
state.
They got a check. So that kind of stabilized them. You know, it obviously didn't work out with them in the house, and we'll find out next episode why not.
Well, also, Leon was upset about the fact that their relationship was so close that Marissa was taking money from them and paying
for her,
and stuff
right?
like that.
Yep. Because as Marissa and Damson or Khalid both made it very clear, Drea broke as hell.
Yeah,
Drea broke as hell. Which, how did she even get approved for a credit card to spend $3,400 on some $3,600 on Nisha tickets?
That much I don't know.
I'm
I
like,
can see her
yo,
getting approved
yo,
for a credit
what?
card, but the rest,
Not to buy two $1,800 tickets to Nisha.
No, not with that kind of limit. That's kind of crazy.
Also, keep in mind, when she bought them tickets for Marissa hated it. She didn't want no parts of it. She was like, yo, you spent this money and you didn't pay rent. So it went terribly, right? Keep that in your mind.
Yeah.
The first time she bought somebody Nisha tickets for their birthday.
And that person liked Nisha.
Yeah.
Also keep that in your head.
Keep that in your head.
Okay, so is there anything else from episode 5 that was noteworthy? Leon attempts to shoot her. She runs
out of the house.
She runs out of the house and down the street, which she was limping. So I can't imagine that. Well, okay, I guess she's not in the house anymore, so you can't go running after her and then shoot her. I was gonna say, because Leon could have just left the house and still got her.
Nah, he shot at her until she got off the property.
Yeah, which at that point, if she's off the property, you can't really do anything. At that point, you're chasing her and murdering her. But because I'm like, she's limping, bro. Go get her. And then I'm like, oh,
somebody needed to go get her.
Facts.
Anybody.
Facts. Because there was clearly people in the street that were just like, oh, what's going on? Like, come on, either get back in the house or do something.
I guess the police don't come quick in Texas either.
Episode 6. Episode 6 is the documentary, which, I'm not gonna lie, at some points it made me feel like this was, I'm like, I never
like
heard
the
anything
whole
about this.
thing was legit.
Never heard anything about this, but let me just do a quick Google search. Didn't find anything, obviously. Well, I found
Tony?
something. Huh?
On the chick Tony?
On chick Tony.
The actual, the real person that they were talking about in the documentary.
No, I thought they were.
That's what she's going by now.
Yeah.
Drea.
Yeah. I looked up Drea, and all it gave me was the character from
So
Swarm.
everything in the documentary was fake.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Obviously, some of the
in
events.
episode 6.
Yeah, some of the events that they alluded to, which
fake.
were in the show, obviously those were, because they talked about the strippers. And those things were obviously so real, but yeah, no, I think that was all.
The way that they compiled it as if she was being investigated was fake.
Yeah.
Okay.
And them even having a picture of a completely different person led me to believe, oh, well, maybe this is
it.
something I didn't somehow hear about. But no, I didn't see anything. Yeah, the documentary kind of came out of left field. But the reason, well, the thought that I had about it was that it was giving enough time for the next thing that happens in episode 7 to kind of, formulate without maybe they just ran out of stories to tell.
I think it filled in the gaps in a lot of things that we didn't know about Drea and why.
Yeah.
But where it started to make me uncomfortable, or not uncomfortable, but I just didn't necessarily like it or care for it, is where we start getting into this bag of, oh, well, she had such a hard life, and oh, well, she really needed Marissa, and the father just didn't understand it, and oh, now you're trying to paint all foster kids as if they're monsters.
Basically apologizing for the killer.
Women or whoever it is, even the investigator was completely enamored with her. Yeah, I've seen this before. This is a black woman falling through the cracks, and it's like she's smiling every time they get an update about the story about this woman killing people. Right? No, this is not some extraordinary. Well, it's rare, but it's not some vast amount of circumstances that could lead any normal human being to doing what Drea did.
Yeah.
And that's the distinction that I felt like should be absolutely clear. This is not something that all forgotten, broken, and abused children end up. There are millions of kids on the system going through foster care, going through adoptions, and who don't ever going on a 20-person killing spree over a recording artist. So like, I didn't need the extra humanization once you just showed me that she killed 20 people.
Yeah.
Half of which at completely random reasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, some kids from foster care end up gaining superpowers, and when they say Shazam.
Okay. That's the next segment.
One other thing I forgot, episode 5 also, she's back in Houston, so she saw that girl that was hating on her.
Oh yeah. The manager, the kiosk manager.
And then she fucking lied like crazy. Like somebody we know.
Yo, hit critical mass on that story, boy. I mean, she had been doing that. Like, she'd been telling these little stories that had a little bit of stank on them.
That was...
Yeah, I moved out to Cali. I started doing makeup for Nija's mom, and then she invited me to lunch, and then I met Nija, and she grabbed me and said, I feel like I've always known you. Bruh, the fact that she was even sitting there listening to that shit.
I thought at one point she was just like, I don't believe any of this. But then at the end, she was just kind of like, oh, wow, oh my gosh.
I kept thinking as we got towards the end of the series, like, yo, is anybody going to give this girl what she deserves? Is anybody going to give her what she been asking for?
Attempt to snap her back to reality?
Like, since the beginning of this show.
I would have thought it would have been her.
I maybe.
Considering she was there at the beginning, and she kind of knew homegirl Dre before all of that, before she started killing everybody. So I thought...
Interesting tidbit. Her baby is by Khalid's older brother.
Mm-hmm.
So she's sitting there talking to her brother-in-law's murderer, big up in her, telling her she always knew that she had something special. Ugh.
That's a little crazy.
Yuck.
That's a lot crazy.
Yuck. It's like they're actively breathing life into this woman and also helping her get more opportunities to kill more people, thinking that they're doing well. Like, I think unintentionally that becomes the narrative of the show, because that is literally how she has survived to this point.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
She doesn't have any level of expertise. She's not even doing the killings particularly well.
Mm-hmm.
But she keeps getting assistance at each and every turn.
Yep.
The moral of the story should be, look who you helping. Why don't you look into the character of somebody before you put their hand out? That should be the moral of the story. Not don't forget people. She should have been forgotten in a hole somewhere.
Yeah, no, and a lot of times it's obviously the people that she kills that help her.
Yikes.
You know, the cult cleaned up her car. Reggie did the tire. The homeboy that she locked in the freezer got her into backstage with Nija, or the after party with Nija.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy
Every
stuff.
step of the way, somebody who can't see through the facade gives her a leg up, gives her a way out, gives her a way to keep going.
Yeah.
Every step of the way.
You ready for the finale?
Yes.
Episode 7. She is pretending to be a cab driver of sorts, or maybe she was just sitting there waiting. I don't know what. They didn't really.
First of all, an Uber driver showing up and saying that he's not going to take a drunk driver is dog shit. That's terrible. If you're an Uber driver and you pull up and tell me you're not going to let me in your car because I'm drunk, your car not going to look the same.
Well, they're trying to avoid their car not looking the same from the inside with you throwing all up.
Fam, you drive Uber.
I know.
In the middle of the night. It's 2 a.m. Who do you think you're picking up?
I'm just telling you that that's totally a thing.
It's 2 a.m. at night.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. It's because of the reasoning.
It doesn't make any. It doesn't. It's not reasonable either.
And so
she looked like Kanan. she looked like
Kanan. Like out of nowhere, she got this fro. She kind of looks like a dude.
I'm like she's completely changed up her mannerism. She not doing that weird ass head turn ditzy girl.
Yeah,
BS
like
no more.
she's back somewhat. Well, she's even more normal now than she was.
I wouldn't even call it normal. It was just like decidedly more masculine.
I probably shouldn't call it normal.
It was like
she was like all of the confusion that it seemed like she had before was gone for the most part. And then again, to your point, she did seem a lot masculine to the point where I thought she was going to tell homegirl that she was a guy. Or maybe she was trying to play it off like that, and then she found out that homegirl was cool because she had the period.
That was a weird point in the show to me too, because I was like, in my mind, she already knew that she was a girl. I don't think females have a hard time deciphering who's a girl and who's a stud or who's just presenting as female or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they're a lot better at deciphering through that kind of stuff than we are.
I agree.
So like, if I knew. Well, but we also have the context of the entire show. Sure. But it wasn't convincing enough for me to be like, oh, yeah, that's a dude. Nah, man. I see cheekbones. I see lips still. You can't really hide the boobage.
Fair.
So it's just, I thought she was a woman. I thought it was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But then, the whole period scene made it like, oh, she was trying to hide it. And then old girl let her know she was cool with it. So, maybe she was trying to just be a man.
Yeah, she was trying to get away with acting like a man. But even if that was the case, obviously you two are making out. At some point, that's going to lead to somewhere to let you know that she's a woman. Not a guy.
Yeah. Here's the interesting thing, right? So, think about Reggie. Think about Damson or Khalid. Mm-hmm. So, and even Homeboy, the concert worker, the roadie. Mm-hmm. So, all of them pop out and they present to her in a very positive way. They're giving her things. They're helping her along. They're kind of pushing her away from whatever preconceived notion she had about killing them. Mm-hmm. Right? And then she ends up doing them in a little bit after. Mm-hmm. This one is the reverse. She meets her, sees her friend falling all over the ground. That ain't really my friend. That's just my roommate. Mm-hmm. Her nose is broken. You just go leave her in the tub? Do I look like a doctor?
Yeah.
Not at all presenting in the same way that the previous victims were presenting to her. Yeah. She's not trying to come off as some great person. Uh-huh. She's not trying to come off as this very very understanding individual the way that other individuals are. Mm-hmm. I think that's why she lasts longer. For some reason, the people that give her the most leeway and are more nice to her end up dying quicker. This girl showed her that she was just a normal. I wouldn't say a bad person. She wasn't great.
Yeah,
she wasn't great initially, but somehow she lasts into a full blown relationship. They meeting parents, moved in together.
Yeah, well, that kind of makes sense.
She even told her. She told her most of her true story, not all of it.
Yeah. That kind of made sense because once she met the parents and once they were laying down and obviously she had told her about the sister, that's when things start regressing a little bit. She buys the tickets and...
Well, it was the relationship was doomed from the start. She's a psychopath, Josh.
Yes.
That was never,
I get that,
yeah.
Obviously.
She's insane. She was never going to have a healthy human relationship with anyone.
Of course.
But
once she started being nicer to her...
Well, it's because now... It's just like any other relationship. You move out of the honeymoon phase, right? So now that we're out of that first initial, you can do things to get me excited in our relationship that'll make me forget about all this other inconsistent stuff. Mm-hmm. Once you live with each other, now everything becomes magnified and you can't just hide who you are. Right. So the conversations about Nyjah finally hit a boiling point, right? Because what did she do? Remember I told y'all to remember them tickets and how it went when she bought them for Marissa, which was somebody who actually liked Nyjah. Mm-hmm. Now she's giving to somebody who told her from jump. Not only was she able to be a dick to that girl and not help her while she was hurting all that stuff in front of her, but she was able to diss Nyjah.
Yep.
She got away with dissing Nyjah. No wonder she lasted so long. Right? And then it finally comes to a head. Oh, look what I got you for your birthday. We're going to see Nyjah. Get dressed.
Right now when she has a headache and...
I don't know if you just heard me, but I just came from my job. You know the thing that makes both of us money? And I don't want to give it to Nyjah because I don't know if you've heard me the last 2 years, but I don't like Nyjah.
And you bought tickets for Nyjah when I had to go to my parents to get money for
rent. I just had to go beg my peoples for money, and you scam somebody out their credit card so you can buy Nyjah tickets. Why you ain't scam somebody for the rent money? And this was the only time, and I mean the only time, in the entire series that Drea actually gets her just due, that she actually hears who she is in totality. Let's put all of her past and her struggles, let's put that in a box that's pretty much the size of the first 6 episodes and leave it there and just isolate this conversation because it's the truest thing that was said to Drea throughout the entire series.
Yeah.
You're selfish, you're egotistical, right? You are completely detached from reality. What part of her of her on and on was wrong? None of it. Not a single bit of it.
Yep.
And it actually looked like she was about to sit there and take it until she walked up on girl and gave her the, you know what I'm saying? Which was crazy too. I don't know if I'd ever just let somebody like walk to me and slide their hands on my
She's
neck.
just like, what are you doing?
She didn't get an uppercut, not a scratch to the eye, nothing. She was like she wasn't trying.
Yeah. Okay, so this is
gouging
where,
all up in them eyeballs.
you know, something. This is where the episode starts to take a turn. So she chokes her and she dies, and then Dre slept there the night with her, dead.
Yeah.
And then she burns the body, but then realizes she has the tickets on her. So she effectively burnt up the tickets to
She's
Nigel.
sadder about burning the tickets than she is about murdering the girl.
Yep.
She's an awful person. She's just the worst type of human being.
Yeah. Yep.
And we spent the prior 2 episodes attempting to humanize her, which I think they did a halfway decent job. They just went a little too far for me, for my liking.
Yeah, that's fair. And so then she goes to the concert. She basically scams her away. Oh, no, she didn't scam her away. She killed the dude with...
She stabbed him in the parking lot. Fam, what is going on? What is happening?
Yeah.
So she killed somebody, right? She stabs him several times in the stomach. Walks in the stadium, I'm assuming, with the
blood
ticket,
on her,
with her bloody hand, and pushes her way all the way up to the stage. Now, I'm suspending my disbelief.
Yeah, her getting all the way to the stage
with blood on her hand and walking out with Naja.
No, well, I was going to say her getting to the stage, security, because there's usually a security buffer in between the stage.
She wouldn't even have been able to get on the stage. Most likely she wouldn't. We've seen people get on the stage.
Some cases there are where they do, but it's Beyonce. I don't think that would have happened.
She hopped the barrier and sat there and looked for a good long while.
Yeah. So then that, and then she gets on stage, and as they're pulling her away, Naja says, "Stop," and then allows her to sing. And then they leave. And they leave
together because she deserves a happy ending to what we just witnessed for the first 7 episodes.
Yeah, that ending.
She deserves her storybook ending after all of this because she's a forgotten black woman. And finally, someone has noticed her. They've seen her. She's seen. Well, I tell you what, if somebody would have seen her ass about 3-4 episodes again, Naja wouldn't have been anywhere in her purview. Naja would have never been a fucking possibility. Yeah, the episode kind of irked me. Episode 7 irked the shit out of me.
You're right for it to have irked you because that wasn't the ending.
Because it was like, all right, Donald, we've done a borderline great job on this show, keeping you engaged, not wasting time on meaningless filler. Like, this was 7 episodes that I watched in 2 days, right? So, like, it was completely digestible. It kept you on the edge of your seat the entire time, and it drove conversation. That is what you want for a season 1 of a series, for sure. 100%.
If it's just season
if
1.
it's on, well, even I mean, just in general, like if it's going to be a continual, because you want something that people are potentially excited about. If they announce a Swarm season 2 right now, that would be very popular for Amazon.
It would be, because I would want to see what happens in season 2.
Exactly. Just stick the landing, man. What did you guys think of Swarm? Give us your thoughts in the comments below. There was a lot going on there. Give us your favorite episode as well. Did you see any more cultural or any more references to events that had happened that we didn't point out here in the 7 episode review? Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Come back to us for more content reviews.
And make sure, like you said, subscribe, because we will be doing a lot more TV reviews. In fact, we're doing Snowfall, Power, Bel Air currently. And then make sure that you check out some of those other reviews if you're watching some of those shows.